Remember, BGI is not, and one of the reasons it's not a technique is because even if we were to do 1,000 demos, I could still never show you all the ways I've ever established continuity. It is a creative process, and you will bring to it your experience, which will mean that it will be different the way that you do it than anyone else does it. That's what makes it so cool. So just remember that these are demos, they are examples, but they are not the only way to do it. But it's nice to have a couple points of reference. So first, we want to get a sense of the system. So I'm just putting my hands on Peter's system. I'm just getting a sense and noticing what I'm feeling the most of. So I'm noticing the tension that is being stored in here. I'm noticing this. I'm noticing this. And there's a flattening in the curve here. It could just be because he's seated. And it feels like there's a lot more muscular tone going on the right than the left. If I touch it, it's hard and stretched, it's not bunchy. So my sense is that we're gonna have a really nice unilateral posterior track. All right, let's have you lie down on your belly. Are your arms comfortable there? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I like to tell people, don't feel like you need to stay in one position. If you need to move while we're working, no problem. I'll deal with it. So first, I want to get a sense of the overall tone in his system. Lying down, tension, 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 tension. Coming in here, we've got, goes from low tension, medium tension to high tension here. We've got a nice disconnect here. Here, we've got a disconnect, going from medium to high again. Arms feel good. Cervicals feel pretty good. And cranium feels nice. So I've got a dormant disconnect here and a dormant disconnect here. Which would I address first? This one, because it's the most inferior dormant disconnect. Sir, may I have you remove your belt? Then the next thing I'm going to do is check for points of origin and the distortion. Got a live one. Never know what they're going to do.
Well, I was looking for my wallet.
I've already removed that. I take everybody's wallet out before they get on the table, otherwise how will I get paid? Okay. I like to have people take their belts and shoes off before they get on the table. Doesn't always happen. Okay, so I've got tension, 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 tension coming up in through here. I've got a dormant disconnect going from medium to high tension. And so to find my point of origin, I'm starting right along the line where it shifts from medium to high tension. I'm gonna walk out until I feel like I have my point of origin. And in this case, it is right here. It's equilaterally lateral. And when I put my fingers here, it just feels like I'm at the source of this disconnect. The distortion, there is a compression, there's an intense compression between L5 and S1. So I don't really feel much rotation in there. So that's my first. My second that I can feel is tension, 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 and then come up here. I've got high tension here, so I'm gonna follow it laterally, and it's right sort of on the edge right about here, and it feels like the whole rib cage has shifted like this. So if I'm going to use a lever, I'm going to want to bring it back into ease with very small movements. Okay, again, we said we're going to start with this one first because it is the most inferior, dormant. I'm going to put my fingers on the point of origin, and I'm going to ask Peter to take a nice deep breath right into my fingers. More, 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 more. There we go. Good. Now with this dormant disconnect in here, I wouldn't be surprised if that breath was not able to get down all the way. It moved much easier than I thought, but he only took one. So I gave him an instruction and his system went, I'll do it because you're telling me to, but not because I want to. So it might just be too much for his system right now. And that actually increased the level of the disconnect. Okay, so my next choice is going to be a change in position. Well, I've got his legs up. I could drop the headpiece a little bit. Lift your head. Okay, thanks. Having him flip over is not gonna really, I don't think it's gonna change it. Having him stand up is gonna put more compression right there. Peter, do you do a lot of standing or sitting in your life?
Yes.
Yes, so he does a lot of standing and sitting, so probably for his system, being in this position is actually quite nice. And that made a really nice difference, just fixing this down here, giving him a little more support under the ankles, and also dropping the headpiece. So let's see, and there's actually a little bit more ease in here, so that's nice. Let's have him take another deep breath. And because he was listening, he took 2 deep breaths.
This process would continue on. We would fully address the first disconnect. If we needed to, we would then use a long lever. We could pull on either the legs or the arm, making sure that we're not pulling on the ankle since our disconnect is up above sacrum. We want to make sure that we're going all the way up into the low back. We could also try and do that from pulling just above the knee, creating traction above the knee into the hip. We could also try from the arms, pulling the arms forward and creating contraction in the low back in that direction. Again, the reason why I'm cutting this demo off is because I just want to remind you that truly, truly, you can do so many things. You could use blocks. You could do then a short lever by creating micro movements at the place where the disconnect is happening and addressing the distortion under the disconnect. Those micro movements are so tiny that it's really hard to film them effectively. So this was just to give you an idea of another disconnect.